Thank you, Lynn. The Kentucky Derby, which is America's greatest horse race and the oldest continuously held sports event, has been run in the shadow of the Twin Spires since 1875. Through those years, the Run for the Roses have been won by notable horses that have had an impact well beyond the realm of the Kentucky Derby and on thoroughbred racing. Those names include Aristides, whose statue overlooks the paddock, still at Churchill Downs, who was the winner of the very first Derby in 1875. Exterminator, who made the 1918 Derby one of his 50 wins and only 100 career starts. War Admiral, the Triple Crown winning son of Man of War, and Calumet Farm duo of Whirlaway and the infamous Citation. The Canadian-bred Northern Dancer won the 1964 Derby and went on to become one of the most dominant sires in racing history. And the 1970s saw a true legend emerge in Secretariat. Big Red won the Roses and the Triple Crown in 1973 and was followed quickly in both feats in that decade by Seattle Slew and Affirmed. More recently, the names of Smarty Jones and the star-crossed Barbaro have become household names both in and out of racing. But there's a special place in Derby lore for fillies who compete bravely in the male-dominated domain of the Derby. 3 have won the race: Regret in 1915, Genuine Risk in 1980, and Winning Colors in 1988. Only 2 others have come close: Lady Navarre in 1906 and the wonderful filly we honor here today, 8 Bells. The Churchill Downs family today joins the Kentucky Derby Museum and its marvelous staff. Owner Rick Porter, his team at Fox Hill Farm, Larry and Cindy Jones, and jockey Gabriel Saiz in honoring the memory of 8 Bells. This somber moment was unthinkable in the seconds past the finish line on the first Saturday in May, when she finished a valiant runner-up to the brilliant Big Brown and was easily clear of 18 other rivals. No one could have imagined what would transpire just seconds later as 8 Bells galloped out with ears up and, by all indications, a happy filly. Then, in a stunning instant, she was gone. The highs and lows of thoroughbred racing are well chronicled. Hall of Fame trainer Mac Miller, who settled Sea Hero to win the 1993 Derby, may have best captured the roller coaster nature of what we do when, in response to a reporter's question about racing's sometimes cruel fates, Miller said, "Just when you think nothing else can happen, it always does." Nothing about the end of 8 Bells' life makes sense. The top veterinarians in our sport have told us time and time again that such an on-track mishap could not happen when it did or where it did. But of course it did happen. Today we join Rick Porter, Larry and Cindy Jones, and the countless admirers of 8 Bells in grieving. We are all moving forward and working to bring positive change to our industry in her loss. Her passing, along with the tragic passing of 2006 Kentucky Derby winner Barbaro, have prompted every segment of our industry to take a closer look and perform a thorough self-examination of what we do, and to find ways to make our sport safer for both horses and the humans who work around them. That process is well underway. The conversation has been serious and it's been healthy. Already we're seeing a wave of change on regulation of medication and racing equipment. More study, debate, and positive change is going to come, and that will be part of the lasting legacy of 8 Bells. She'll be honored at Churchill Downs next year on Derby Day with a stakes race named in her honor, and she'll be saluted that day by the sounding of 8 bells, which in naval parlance signifies the end of a watch. And let us not forget this: 8 Bells was a racehorse. She was all racehorse, and there's no greater praise one can offer in our thoroughbred business. After her brilliant performance in the Kentucky Derby, her final resting place is now this beautiful spot not far from the finish line of the track over which she distinguished herself on the first Saturday in May. Her many admirers, and that number still grows, will be able to visit her often, and they'll visit Broker's Tip, Swaps, Carryback, and Sonny's Halo, 4 Derby winners that also call this Kentucky Derby Museum Garden home. We salute Rick Porter and his staff, Larry and Cindy Jones and their team, for the dignity and compassion they displayed following their heart-wrenching loss. We join the Kentucky Derby Museum in thanking all of you for sharing 8 Bells with us on Kentucky Derby Day and now on each day forward. 8 Bells was a special filly in Kentucky Derby history. As our industry makes positive change following her passing, her star will shine even brighter in the years to come. Thank you.